Today we're hopping in luxury neighborhoods within San Diego. Give you guys some insight into not just like price points, because San Diego luxury living is not just price points. Now the neighborhoods we're covering today are like, you'll find some below this, but we're talking about like $3 million plus homes. It's also a lifestyle. All the 5 neighborhoods that we are covering today, areas that we're covering today, we're gonna get into, and some of you might have heard, but we're gonna dive in and show you like specific neighborhoods within. Some are cities, some are these little areas within there, some are like little HOA spots, but we're gonna get into all that right now.
First up, for luxury living, we have downtown San Diego. Don't really think luxury when you think of downtown areas often, but downtown San Diego has some really cool luxury properties, some luxury condos where you get that kind of downtown lifestyle. You've got a ton of restaurants and bars in walking distance. You have nightlife, you have the ballpark, you have the Embarcadero, you have Seaport Village. There is so much to do. Oh, and convention center. That's another big one too. And if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for kind of easy HOAs with a ton of amenities, some of these spots where you're up at that price point, you have gyms, you have underground parking, full-time security, just great amenities on the property. Which
views,
huge views too.
Of the bay. Looking out there, as you're looking at some of these listings, just walk in, floor to ceiling glass. You're just looking out at sometimes Coronado, sometimes a little bit farther to the north, like Point Loma, but just gorgeous views as you would expect at that price point right here in San Diego. And this type of lifestyle, we were just I went down with my family. We went down to the Padres playoffs game and ran into one of my sister's friends who lives in downtown San Diego. And obviously they had the accessibility, they had season tickets, so super walkable. All the bars at Cassidy, all the stuff's right down there as well. And they do it a little different. So they spend half their time here in San Diego at the condo and then about half their time over in Hawaii. So it's nice having 2 different lifestyles. I mean, leaving San Diego for like, it's a vacation spot for another vacation spot. You can't get much better than that. But that's what you get down there in San Diego. And let me see, like, I'm just going to bring up our app. If you guys want, download our app. It's local. It's direct communication to me and Cassidy. It's pretty awesome. But we have, so this one is $5.9 million. It's only 3-bed, 3.5 bath, but almost 4,500 square foot. So huge views. You're looking down, the first picture is like gorgeous looking at the Hyatt, but it's just, I mean, that's what you get down there. You're not getting detached homes. You're just getting that lifestyle of walkability, ease of access, nightlife. I mean, you don't have to go to the nightlife. You can just do whatever you want there too. But it is one of the spots you're not thinking luxury, but we do have that right here in San Diego.
As a reminder, we love making these videos for you, but we are a real estate team here in San Diego. So if you are thinking about moving out this way, definitely get in touch with us. Start that conversation. Call, text, email. We'll hop on a Zoom call, answer any questions you might have, and get you dialed in for your move to San Diego.
Next up on the list is a pretty well-known luxury spot right here in San Diego. It's La Jolla, but I'm going to show you, well, not show you, actually we'll show you with drone footage and stuff, but we're going to show you like a specific little neighborhood that we recently did a vlog in. It's a portion of La Jolla, but it's kind of its own little jam. And La Jolla is kind of that old school feel. It's chic. You have that downtown, the village area where you're going to have, some boutique shops and stuff, some higher end upscale restaurants, that kind of thing. But one thing that La Jolla I think has above and beyond all the other places that we're covering today is the views. As you go up from La Jolla Shores, as you go up like Mount Soledad, it just built up a big hill. So there are a ton of beautiful properties with huge views overlooking the Pacific Ocean.
So we've shown a bunch of houses in La Jolla. One for me definitely stands out. Walk in, really pretty entry, and you walk in the front door and it is just ocean for as far as you can see. And I mean, it was a 180-degree view of the ocean all the way up La Jolla Shores, looking down south, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And a lot of these neighborhoods too, specifically this house as well, there's kind of these just windy roads that take you up to these neighborhoods. So it's pretty quiet. You have that kind of tranquility of somewhere you might find kind of a little more inland, but it's right there in La Jolla. So if you're also looking for privacy, there's a lot of sections of La Jolla that have that as well.
And the area that I'm going to send you to check out, it doesn't have all of the views that we were just talking about. It's a little flatter. You do have some as you go back up the hill, obviously. But some of the oceanfront homes here too is Bird Rock. And it's a little section on the southern portion of La Jolla, right on the northern portion of Pacific Beach. And it's like a little city town area within itself. It does have its own little downtown area where you're going to find some great shops and restaurants as well. It's not too big, but it's one street just going down the middle of Bird Rock. And one thing about the beaches here, especially if you're looking like oceanfront homes, you're not really going to have like a beach. So if you were worried about tourists coming in and, people just in it's not really your front yard, but within, right in front of your house, it doesn't really happen because a lot of the shoreline there, all the houses on the, especially in that Bird Rock area are like not bluffs, but just kind of rugged coastline.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to find like big open beaches until you get up to La Jolla Shores. That's the main jam in La Jolla. But gorgeous homes, nice and quiet in a lot of spots.
And just pulled up a property here in that Bird Rock neighborhood on our app, and you're looking at almost $8.5 million, 4 beds, 6 baths, 6,334 square feet on over a quarter acre, which is also one of the big bonuses of living in that section of La Jolla. So huge views looking at this. You can see the bay, you can see ocean. It is a gorgeous property.
And part of the difference between the Bird Rock area, which is a smaller portion of La Jolla, and like La Jolla, let's go with La Jolla Shores and all that area, is it's not really a scene down there. You have that little main drag, but a lot more people who are going to visit La Jolla or go to the beaches in La Jolla or go, just do the touristy stuff in La Jolla. It's going to be a little further north. So as you get into this area, it's just going to be a little bit quieter.
So the first two that we looked at, downtown San Diego, you're looking at a population of about 40,000 people. La Jolla as a whole, you're looking at about 46,000 people. The next spot we're looking at, you've probably heard of, is a lot smaller. And specifically, the area we're going to look at is only 3,000 people that live in this area, and that is Rancho Santa Fe, and specifically the Covenant of Rancho Santa Fe. And when we talk about the Covenant, if you kind of go to the downtown area of Rancho Santa Fe and go out from there, that area is the Covenant, which is just a fancy word for an HOA. But it is, you just have that kind of feel, the country club feel of what Rancho Santa Fe is within that area of Rancho Santa Fe. What attracts people to these luxury types of homes is privacy, land, so you have that separation between neighbors. You have a ton of amenities just on your property, which is awesome. Sports courts, tennis courts, pools, water slides, pretty much anything and everything you can imagine on some of these lots. In the Covenant, they're all custom homes. So you have mid-century modern, you have a lot of ranch style, you have houses that are up to like 15,000 square feet. There is kind of the sky is the limit in Rancho Santa Fe.
Yeah, we're standing right on the edge of Rancho Santa Fe right now. You see this beautiful house. You can't see it. I'm looking at this beautiful house up on the hill here. No other houses around. You're just going to find that a lot. Just pulled one up, or just a lot of homes that popped up in the Covenant. Anywhere from like 4.3. We have a 12.5. Almost next door, a 21.5 a little further up, but 4.2, 4.3, let's call it 4.3, 5 bed, 4.5 bath, just over 4,000 square foot on an acre plus lot. That's what he mentioned. But with that acre plus, that's what a lot of people like out here is just space, privacy. You do have access to, you have to specifically live within the Covenant. You do have access to the country club over there. Here, let's look at the 12.5 million. Now we're looking at 5 bed, 6.5 baths, a 10,000, almost 11,000 square foot home on 3+ acres. So you can see the widespread. An acre is probably like the minimum you're going to get here. And then it just goes on up from there. And we've made past videos of the Covenant and the Bridges and Cielo and other neighborhoods within Rancho Santa Fe that have the Rancho Santa Fe address that aren't within the Covenant. And a lot of people who are watching tend to still be attracted to the Covenant. So when they're reaching out and they're like, hey, okay, Rancho Santa Fe, you've seen all these areas, but we still want to be in the Covenant because you do have the HOA, you do have the community, they have 24-hour security patrol going around. You do have access to the country club, but also a tennis club, but it's also like social club. There's like a whole little community within there as well. It's a really cool little spot. So if you want space spread out, that rural feel, there's some equestrian out here, then Rancho Santa Fe is going to be your spot. This next spot we've never even mentioned on this channel, so you're in for a treat. It's an area just like kind of a little bit east. It's not coastal. It is a golf course community. There's a golf course going throughout the whole place. There's a lot of custom homes, but there's also some track homes in there. And track homes, they're not small. They're all larger in size. There are some they call them like casitas, but they're still pretty big. It's Santa Luz. And Santa Luz, compared to the other neighborhoods, a little bit, I guess it'd be 1/3 the size of the Covenant. It's only about 1,000 homes in there. And like I said, a wide range. So like the custom homes are anywhere between like 5,000 square foot to 15,000 square foot. You have a big range there. And all those are going to be about 1 acre lots, but just really enormous homes. And this area is really, it's a golf course. I mean, there's the golf course going through there, right? But it's also like a great community where they have a community center. They're having community events throughout the year, Easters and Christmases and all that kind of stuff, where the community within there, everybody living within Santa Luz is gathering. There's a big grass lawn in the middle. The country club or the clubhouse is pretty big, and a gym in there, all kinds of cool stuff in there. It's a gated community, so there's a few gates going around where they're keeping patrol of that 24/7. So it's just a really neat community that we don't talk about much because it's kind of smaller. And like I said, the custom homes, like all of them are going to be similar in style though too, even the custom ones. There's nothing where Rancho is a little more character.
So checking out our app, Santa Luz, you're ranging from about 3.39, which gets you about 2,900 square feet. So this is definitely going to be on the smaller side of homes in Santa Luz, all the way up to 11.99, so $12 million. That's a lot of nines. 6 beds, 9 baths, 12,826 square feet. So huge house. This one's actually right on the golf course, right next to one of the water features there. Absolutely beautiful. So going from a little bit more inland back to the coast to one of our favorite communities here in San Diego, and that is Cardiff by the Sea. This is one of the most quintessential beach towns that we have here in San Diego. It is just north of Solana Beach, just south of Encinitas, and it's kind of tucked in the hill. So a ton of views. Most of the houses in the walking district are huge views. So today we're going to talk specifically about the Composer District. Earlier this year, we had a listing within this part of Cardiff. It's on kind of the northwest side of Cardiff, and you'll notice that all of the street names are named after composers.
I was going to just ask you that.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it the Composer District?
That's exactly why. And in this neighborhood, you have a wide range of size of houses. You still have some of those like beach bungalows that haven't been either torn down or completely remodeled. But you also have a lot of very high-end luxury homes in this area. And there are sections too with killer views kind of on the western section of the Composer District.
So back to the home that we sold in this area of Cardiff back at the beginning of this year. It was just shy of $4 million price point, over 3,500 square foot, 2-story house. It's kind of like a semi-custom house. So there was a few of these similar floor plans right within this neighborhood, which you're not going to find a ton of that. Most are going to be, one-offs, custom houses, maybe the original beach bungalows that people are going to purchase. And some people just remodel those or just build a brand new home. Beautiful backyard, not huge. You're not going to find a ton of huge lots, but as opposed to Walking District, which is the next little section of Cardiff and Composer District, you will find a little bit more space typically in the yards in the Composer District. So a little more room, a little bit larger lots. Walking District's pretty tight, where you have like alleys behind the houses, and it's just more of a kind of squared off grid pattern where they built them. This is a little more, let's call it funky, I guess. It's not just straight lines going back and forth.
And the Walking District is called the Walking District, but it is also, like Chris mentioned, a very steep hill up and down. You've probably seen us huffing and puffing as we walk up hills filming these videos. But Composer District also is pretty walkable. There's a couple of trails that can get you right into that kind of town center where you have Seaside Market. You have a bunch of restaurants down there, VG Donuts if you're looking for breakfast. So there's a lot of things you can walk to there. And it's also just a quick walk to the beach to one of our favorite spots there in Cardiff.
And Cardiff, obviously, right next to the ocean, but you're not going to find oceanfront homes like in La Jolla or in like off Neptune up in Encinitas. This area that's separated by Coast Highway, and then you have another road, and then you have the houses. So you're set back a little bit on either side.
In the middle of those,
You got train tracks in the middle. There's a lot. You got the walking trail right there too. So there's a lot of stuff right there between the houses. But there's a little strip where you do have, because it's up on a bluff, so you have these beautiful ocean views.
Yep.
Like I just pulled one up. This is like it's not even one of the big mansions that you're going to find there. It's only 2,300 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It's sold for $4.58 million, but you're right there overlooking the ocean. So while you're not going to find, like, you can't go out in your front yard and go to the beach, you do have unbelievable views right there.
So if you are looking at Cardiff, you'll notice that there's not a ton of turnover. There are still kind of a lot of either original owners or people that have lived there a very long time. Cardiff is a place that people move to and don't leave very often. And if you are thinking about moving to, maybe it's Cardiff, maybe it's Santa Luz, maybe it's one of the other places we talked about today, definitely start that conversation. Give us a ring, shoot us a text, send us an email, and we've got your back when moving to San Diego.